The Lost Cryptids Conservatory, where we will shatter your reality to bring you closer to the truth.
All right, guys, welcome back to another live show here at the Lost Cryptids Conservatory. And my co-host for tonight is Shannon. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Doing good. Sorry for starting so late, guys. We had some technical difficulties on my end, of course. But glad for you guys to be here. And hi to Sandra Piper in the chat. She's she's always around on the shows and stuff. She's an awesome person, and always glad to have you. So, and everyone else who's watching right now and after the fact. We've got a pretty good show tonight. We're going to be talking, of course, about Bigfoots and cryptids, and taking a look at some clips of supposed Bigfoot videos and stuff, and then talk about them and go from there and stuff and hang out. So it's another Saturday night. It's been an interesting week and stuff. Of course, I didn't get to go out and stuff. I actually caught a bug that's going around and stuff, and I hear one of our other members down in Ohio is getting kind of the same way. So there's fortunately it happens and it sucks, but we might get a team members dropping in and see what they got to say about the Ohio conference and what activity has gone on, if any, at their location where they're scouting around there tonight. So hopefully they can get some good reception and they can tune in and join. So yeah. And of course, any questions, make sure you put them in all caps. It definitely helps us. So any new cryptid information or news from your end of the woods over there in Kentucky?
Well, there's been a few people I've saw been posting like tree structures, and I think one of the people in my group found like a handprint, and they casted it. So I think that's pretty good. But I feel like
Awesome.
Everything's just starting to, weather's changing and everything's coming out. So
yeah, that is true. Winter's finally over with for most part of the country, and activity's picking up. People are finally getting out. That is interesting. I'll have to check that out. Why don't you plug your Facebook group? I have not really been doing too much on the Facebook groups and stuff. So I'll have to definitely check that out. So why don't you plug your Facebook group?
okay. It's Eastern Kentucky Bigfoot Research Team. Let's see. Let me try to. I want to try to get the link.
Yeah, and you can find her group on Facebook, of course. You know, she runs that group, and it's pretty open and friendly group, of course. Very tolerant of people and stuff, but of course, no bullying or anything like that. Um, and you know, Eastern Kentucky and Kentucky itself is a very prime state of Bigfoot activity and Bigfoot habitat. Driving through there and stuff, I could just see plainly just how easily, you know, they could get across the landscape. You know, your landscape is very different than Michigan. Michigan's pretty flat farmland, and you guys have a lot of rolling hills and wooded hills and stuff, and it's very different. And I can only imagine going up and down those things all day long and all night long in search for these creatures. You know, it's very interesting with all the caves you guys have there too. It's easily one of the most prime states, I think, and probably under research and stuff. There's only a couple main guys. I know there's a couple guys out there, but you know, it doesn't seem like it's. I would assume that it would be a more of a top state than what it is. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. A lot of people just don't like talking about it. Let's see. There we go.
Yeah. Maybe it's because you guys, its culture is a little bit different. You know, the Appalachian culture of Kentucky, and you guys kind of grew up with that. You know, your grandmother, for example, and her parents and generations before her, a different mindset, and especially of, you know, don't talk about these things, and you know, being more religious and probably more superstitious than we are nowadays. I'm sure it definitely played a role, and you know, if you talk about these things, maybe they would come and things like that, and
Yeah.
you know, just who knows when information. So, yeah.
No,
Do you want to?
wait.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's actually one of the things. Like whenever you talk about it, you can pretty much conjure it up on yourself. So that's one of the little myths.
Yeah, you know, some people say it, and that's kind of like spiritual type of stuff. People talk about like ghosts or demonic entities of the same nature. If you study and talk about these things and spend too much time, it kind of attracts them.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Sherry Bigfoot. She's down in Ohio and stuff too, having fun, I believe, with Linda and stuff, and hanging out in search for a Bigfoot. I'm sure, knowing them too. So, you know, the Ohio conference just happened and stuff, and it's the biggest one, I would say, in the country. Of course, they had a good lineup of most of the Finding Bigfoot crew. I think Bobo was the only one that wasn't there, if I remember right. If James comes up in here, he'll give us the full lowdown of stuff. But I'm sure it was jam packed with a bunch of people and a swell time, of course. And hopefully, people learn stuff, because that's the most important stuff, is learning and spreading the awareness, and not sugarcoating it either. You know, I'm sure if we could go back in time, and especially talk about the generations before us that conquered this land. I want to speak to, you know, my dad's dad was a great hunter, and he went out to Montana and Wyoming and hunted a lot. And I wish that I could ask him, hey, you know, what do you think about Bigfoot? Did you hear anything? You know, and we can, and like you alluded to earlier, is those generations they didn't talk about these things. They experienced these things, but they were so ironclad behind a curtain that they didn't really tell about those certain paranormal, scary, traumatic things to their family or anyone else. So, so
And I feel like it's also like the earlier. I feel like it was more of like just an everyday part of life. I think.
yeah,
Like how my papa said the Hanks. Oh, that's just the Hanks. Just kind of brushing it off.
yeah, like they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Don't pay them no attention, and it seems like they'll be fine, right? It's kind of a resurgence of it's just them. Don't worry about it. But that comes from obviously experiences of them doing stuff, and if it was scary, or if he felt that that they would do stuff, I'm sure he would have told you guys not to play out there or something different than just, oh, it's just the Hanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very interesting and stuff. So, and good luck to all the people out there in the Salt Fork and all the surrounding Ohio wilderness trying to get evidence of Sasquatch this last 2 evenings. I know a lot of people are. Hopefully, there's something that gets caught. I would recommend to be mindful of any vocalizations of other Bigfoot researchers in the area, because there's hundreds of people there probably. So be careful of that, guys, and possible hoaxes, of course, because people do know that you're coming down there. People do know the areas you guys are going to be looking. So, unfortunately, people might leave you guys a present that is fake. So, we got to keep that in mind as researchers and stuff. This is not really a game we play willy-nilly. This is some serious stuff, and although there's not really many people who go out of the way to fake and hoax Bigfoot researchers, it is getting more popular, definitely more popular. And unfortunately, there's people and there's teenagers and there's YouTube stars and YouTube people who go out of their way to hoax Bigfoot people and make videos on it, actually, and get millions of views, actually. We had talked about that at a different live show. It actually happened in Michigan and stuff, and it was pretty interesting and stuff, of course. But anyways, we got Sherry Bigfoot, of course. She's saying a mother bear and cubs and cougar have been, I guess, spotted around Salt Fork in Ohio, I guess. So that's very interesting, of course. And yeah, so be careful out there. Yeah, they got black bears down there, and cougars, I guess, are rare. We've talked about the cougar thing and these mysterious black cats and big cats. They're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Another,
I was researching that the other day, actually. It was something about, I can't remember what it's called. It's some type of cat with horns. I don't remember what the name of it was. Some type of cat with like horns, but I was researching that the other day, and there were some really interesting things on it. Something to do with connected to witchcraft and something like that.
Was it down in the south? There's a I can't remember what it's called right now. It just slipped my mind. There's a legend of a wild cat down in the south. They call it something like kitty or something cat. Anyways, it's a ferocious, wild big cat, basically, and tied with some other ledges and stuff down there. But yeah, a big cat with horns would be pretty interesting and definitely odd.
I'm gonna have to look that up now. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's all sorts of cryptids that seem to get reported, and there's some interesting videotapes coming out of like South America and that show a pretty interesting cryptid sucking on a goat and stuff, and that seems to be these new cryptids and stuff are coming to light and getting videotaped, but
Oh,
um, yeah, like sheep squatch, of course.
oh yeah.
Goat man, and there's like the goat man of certain bridges out in the East Coast. I can't remember exactly, but people die on them and stuff. They get chased by this creature, and supposedly causes the death of things. And the goat man has chased people. I don't know what to think about that. What do you think about that?
I mean, if it is, I believe it's something like demonic. If not necessarily anything, not physical, but I think maybe like demonic if there is anything to it.
I would, honestly, I'd probably feel the same way. It's just like, unexplained. It makes no sense. It's even more crazier than a Bigfoot or even a dog man, and I would have to say just some freak monster, and yeah, demonic or monster. I'd probably be putting it down just because it's a monstrosity.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's see. Actually, I do have some information about Dogman.
Oh yeah, please do share.
I was reading and like researching on. Okay, so apparently Dogman this is one of like the theories of it, is connected to Native American rituals, and they use Dogman as a type of not necessarily like a guide, but a protector of sacred lands.
Yeah, that's and it gets into the like a skinwalker side of things, witchcraft and stuff,
Yeah.
basically. But the more good aspects, they talk about like dog soldiers and stuff. There's a couple legends of them putting on the skins of animals and stuff and going into battle to to save their people, and being called dog soldiers and protectors and things like that. Not necessarily evil, but you do hear skinwalkers being depicted as evil witches who do, have the skins of animals and trick and mimic. And so, yeah, I mean, who knows if it's that, it's, it's just so mind blowing. And I mean, if any of that is real, I mean, the magical aspect and this witchcraft, and so, you would have, again, demonic type of things, and then I mean, it just opens the door for people who I don't think they can comprehend that sort of stuff. I mean, I don't think I would be ready. It's just a reality call that not many people are ready to face.
Yeah, definitely.
We're out there chasing these things, and we don't really know what's going on. And what if we did come face and face with a sort of entity? What would you do? I mean, what could you do? I guess.
I don't know. I guess just bless it away. I don't know. That's the only thing I could think about.
I would probably do the same, and I have actually. And sometimes when I'm doing Bigfoot stuff, I do say the prayers and stuff, because things get intense and stuff out there, and been pretty safe so far. But let's get into some of these video clips that we're gonna show you guys. So these are not all the video clips in the entire internet. Of course, this is a very small amount, but I thought that was interesting, and we'll have more shows showing more clips, but uh, we're just going to show these guys, show them, and get our opinions on them, and hopefully get your guys' opinions in the chat. I see we got Harryman Hoodwinks and Hoaxes, which is Nikki. Glad to have you there in the chat. She has an awesome show that she does, multiple shows actually, and a great channel full of information. And you just had a awesome guest, Richter, and pretty razzle dazzle stuff. So the community is just filled of drama and craziness and con artists and backstabbing, and unfortunately people who are in it for themselves, in it for basically just in it for themselves, in it for the money, in it for trying to be some sort of Bigfoot famous, as if that was some sort of celebrity thing you could obtain, and it's just crazy. Just crazy, just how much crap has gone on over the years and continues to go on. So, yeah. So this first clip we got is getting actually harder to find actually on the internet. I was kind of surprised. And yeah, it's basically a Bigfoot that was filmed at a graveyard. A juvenile supposedly is digging up dirt and is freaking these girls out. So let's take a look at that and then go through some stuff. So I don't know if you guys can hear it. If the volume's not on, it might not be on this one. On some of them they are. And this one, unfortunately, is going to be cropped to this angle and stuff. In the future souls, I will get one that's better. But basically, these it's a daughter and a mother, and they're freaking out because there is this creature that is digging right there, and it's basically dug up a pile of dirt. It is going to town with its bare hands, and of course, it cuts out stuff. So. Have you seen this clip before and stuff? It's a couple years old and stuff. It's not too new or anything.
I've saw it like whenever the first hype came out about it, but I haven't saw it in a long time.
Right back when you had a bunch of different videos of it, and it is very interesting and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like the digging motions are really unique about it, but at the same time, I don't think it's close enough to definitely tell.
Yeah, it's pretty obscure and stuff, and it's right up next to a building and stuff, and I don't know the full history of actually, if it was proven to be a hoax or not, and I should have did my homework a little bit more on that particular one, but that was already on here, not something I've worked on today, but what is interesting, even if it's not a real Bigfoot, is the correlation of graveyards and Sasquatches, with Sasquatches being reported in graveyards, next to graveyards, around them. This particular one, if it was real, and some people definitely consider it real, even if, some people consider some videos and pictures to be real, even if it seems like the official narrative of stories comes out to be faked and stuff. And that particular one, we'll show it again. I know it kind of sucks on the version I have here, but basically, if you have seen this one or have the better, wider versions that you can see, and some people believe this is actually a real Sasquatch. and it's digging for possible. They believe that's digging at a recent burial where the ground is already kind of dug up still, and is smelling bodies and stuff. And Sasquatch is smelling the dead fumes that are coming up out of the ground or from the graves and stuff, is what they suspect. And it's why they hang around the graveyards and stuff. It's because they can smell the, supposedly, who knows if.
Well, I mean, that's honestly a good point, though, if you think about it. Like on the animal side of things, I mean, that's nature. Especially since I guess you could consider them scavengers also, I would believe. Like scavengers and then.
Yeah, I definitely think that they are reported to smell like the dead and stuff, and they probably eat, like most predators and big game carnivores and omnivores. They eat things. They eat dead stuff. They eat raw things, and if you bears, and other animals like to marinate their food a little bit over a day or two or week period. So they're already eating pretty disgusting stuff, gut-wrenching stuff for our standards.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they don't mind, especially if they have a pretty thick steel stomach, to eat rotten food. And of course, they smell like rotten food, rotten meat, and death. And trying to get my it's plugged in real quick. And Robert Kreider, who's a researcher down in New Mexico, awesome guy, came up here. He's reported and has evidence and stuff that's shown that they've even eat sand and dirt that they put into their stomachs and stuff, that they seem to be able to handle, and it serves, could serve a variety of purposes and stuff. But basically, it's found scat and stuff that had shown that they ingested that and stuff.
I've never thought about that before. I guess maybe like lack of minerals. Maybe that's a way to get minerals.
Yep, lack of minerals and stuff, and I think is what he mainly said and stuff. I have his presentation he did and stuff, and yeah, it's awesome stuff. I'll be putting that out, but you can also find his work on YouTube and also on Facebook at KX Explorations, of course. And he has been very close and has some pretty good evidence and stuff. So I don't have any of his clips on here, but you guys can find those at his YouTube channel. We got Northman's Keep. How you doing, man? Old couple told my mom that little people go by the graveyards, of course. The little people of North America is what he's talking about. Some type of connection with the graveyards. And, maybe it's the spiritual side, There's a lot of spiritual aspects that modern society is not connected to that some say we were hundreds of years ago, of, spiritual energies and holy ground and hollow ground, right? And, the ritual and the whole process of being buried and things of that nature, and death, of course, and what happens to a body, and the human need to bury it, right? Kind of separates it from animals and stuff. So who knows? I'm not quite sure. So how you doing, Power Medic? I'll answer your question real quick, and then we are going to dive into the next clip. Evening, guys. We're talking about creepy videos where girls filmed a thing digging in the graveyard. Yes, that is what we were talking about. The creepy thing that's digging with its hands. It's going like this. It's really going at it. If you can find a better clip, unfortunately. In a future show, I'll have to find it, because when I looked and I got that one, it was kind of frustrating because I couldn't find something better to grab and then to work on. So, yeah, it is pretty freaky. It was kind of surprising how hard it was to find. But what I noticed, if you type into any like Bigfoot into like Google or even YouTube, the first things that come up are all like news stories, and most of it's like joked and comedy pieces and History Channel stuff, and it's not any evidence of Bigfoot. If you try and find evidence, you gotta go on a couple pages and stuff and find it instead of showing it first. So it's all just news programs and CNN and Rick Dyer. You know, when he came out with his Bigfoot stuff, hoax, of course. Speaking of hoaxes, I guess we got a video right here that is a hoax, actually, that I personally came across and stuff and tried to expose a number of times, but about a year or two ago, I guess, I don't know. And since then, this guy, of course, I guess now has written a couple books and continues to get evidence and convinces people that he is communicating with Bigfoot or some sort of thing. So we're going to take a look at this video clip, and then I will explain to you what's going on. And we'll go from there. So, yes, that's his name and stuff, and then as you can see at the beginning, you see his newer name that he goes by, of course. And so, basically, you can see right there was a Sasquatch, and we'll see it again. Of course, it's actually a female right here, is what he's claiming, and a baby. And right there, you can see the baby's face right there. Very distinct nose and mouth and eyes, right? So this is what this guy's claiming, and that is the mother face and all that. So, so yeah, basically what he's saying is he's sitting on his porch and he had to dodge and roll out of the way. Right there, you can see that incredible athleticism. Yeah, he rolled out of the way of the Sasquatch on his porch and filmed that. Okay, and I know most people are probably thinking, this must be a joke or something, but honestly, he wrote from this picture, of course. He has able to get a book deal, and he does more evidence and stuff. And what he's doing is it's actually his sweater. Let me stop this real quick because it's I think it's looped for a while, but he's going like this with his sweater. He's literally like this. And he's shaking the camera, and he claims he dodged and stuff. But surprisingly, it doesn't seem like many people have caught on to this. I don't know why. And he's got a book deal and has a group, and people who follow him, and people it's very he's one of those people that people believe, and it's clearly this one particularly is faked. And you can see, because there's a bend right here, you can see it at the very corner edge of the right-hand corner. And it's a blue fluffy sweatshirt that he's doing this on. And so if you guys check him out, he has caught other stuff, other pareidolia and things like that. I don't know. I don't know why I have this need to call this guy out, but it is so obnoxious, I guess, that I feel that it should not be tolerated. You know,
No, yeah, definitely.
what's your opinion on that? You know, I don't put you on the spot. You don't have to.
Oh no,
But
I could go off on a rant on it. I just
go ahead.
it's
We
it's
got time.
people like that that discredit everything that we do. It
Yeah.
for real. Like it just I'm not gonna say names, but there's another guy does the same thing, and he does like conferences and stuff, and it just tears me up because people believe him and they're just full of crap, and it just feels like they're making a mockery out of what we do and what we believe in. And when people see what they're doing, that discredits everything that the rest of the community is actually doing.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when they get exposed and when people have followed these people, then they get bamboozled and they get really turned off, and they, think it's all fake or they want to leave and don't want to deal with this because it's filled with people, con artists and hoaxers and stuff. Yeah, I hate it and stuff. I guess you're right. It's kind of spit in our face kind of a thing, because we're out there doing the real thing. We're frustratingly having conversations with people who don't believe us, and even though we have evidence and stuff to show them, and they've just pointed at people like that, and it is disheartening for sure.
Yep.
So what do you guys think in the chat? I don't know if you guys had known this guy, know what he's doing now currently and stuff. He has plenty more stuff that I really haven't checked out, but I'm sure I can make plenty of things to show of just, maybe possibly stumps and stuff. I mean, this was just so over the top. I've never seen someone just hoax a video and it's just a sweatshirt going like that, and people believe it. And he draw, you dot colored eyes on the things. He's claiming it's a female and a baby, and I was surprised at the number of people who believed him and liked the photo as if it was real. And I was very shocked, I guess, maybe, and I felt the need to start do that.
Did he ever come up with like a background story to it?
Yeah, he does. I'm gonna release I got a 5-minute video that has snapshots of his explanation of he's talking to these things and stuff, and he's asking them to be, he wants to see them, and now remember he's on. I'll show the video again. He's on his porch, and he rolls off to dodge out of the way of the Bigfoot. Now, if you see at the beginning at the top, if you guys pause that after the live show, that's his newer name. He used to be called the Dartigo Valley Creek Project. That's what he used to be called. That's his name right there. And he's looking at one across the roadway right there. He's trying to film. And all of a sudden, bam, a female that's holding a baby rushes up, and he has to roll out of the way to dodge this thing because of its incoming impact. And then he, rolls, and then he kind of looks to the right to where it came, and it isn't there, and he stops filming. Yeah, he mutters something and stuff. He mutters like, "Oh, geez," and then the clip stops. So see right there, he rolled out of the way. Of course, it came up on the porch, past his cars, and blah blah blah. But he couldn't film it leaving or anything. It's a sweatshirt. It's a fluffy sweater. It's ruffled up, and he just happened to get a really nice shot of pareidolia of a face right there. And that's the face of the mother right there. If you guys can look, the mouth, the eyes, and nose is what he's claiming. On the longer version I have, he has the dotted. Actually, if we play this clip long enough, it might show more stuff. But I don't think it has the his own words that he wrote and commented on the post. And since I exposed him the first time about a year or two ago, he makes video clips of this, and he cropped it to try to minimize where you can see the bent elbow, basically. What do you think about that face right there? That's a face of a mother and stuff. And
Lord. Only thing I can picture was just him sitting on his porch having a cup of coffee, talking to the Bigfoot. Lord.
yeah, I mean that's what he claims he was doing. I mean, I do not think this guy. I think he's making it up. I'm not sure he's like delusional and stuff and believes that this is a Sasquatch. Clearly, he must know that he did it himself, right? But yeah, this is his claim to fame right here. This is his precious baby that got him his start and his on his journey that I guess he's undertaken since I discovered that and stuff. If I look into more stuff, I'm sure he has and stuff. But he has a couple books about these tribal people and their communication with him and things like that. For like $45, you can buy it. I got show that in the bigger video coming on the channel a little bit, because it's so obvious and blatant, and I don't understand why some people who I thought would be better than to fall for things like that would fall for that. So maybe we should call these people out, because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, if Nikki, if you look into that guy, he's kind of a hoaxer, and I don't know if he's a known hoaxer, but let's go on to the next video. So we got a couple other ones. We got Patty coming up and stuff, and some of the stuff I've worked on of personal breakdowns of some East Texas stuff. Okay, let me scroll down here. Okay, I feel. Let's just look at this one. Okay, yes. This is the Cache River Bigfoot that was caught here in Michigan, actually. This is up in the Thumb area, if you look at Michigan. And it's supposedly a Bigfoot crossing the river holding possibly a young one or something, right? Thinker Thunker did a breakdown of this. He thinks it's a female and a baby Bigfoot or whatever, but the opposite end, people think it's just a fisherman in waders crossing the river. He's wearing brown or orangish type of attire as crossing this river.
Yeah, I see that.
Right. So what did you think about this clip when it first came out, and what do you think about seeing this now?
I think this is the first time I saw this one.
Oh yeah.
Unless I've watched a whole bunch of videos, so it's hard telling.
Exactly, and a lot of them are mostly fake and seem fake, and now this one doesn't scream to be fake.
I think I do. I think I agree with the fisherman because the way that it is bunched under the arm right there, it looks more of like a it's not suede. It's like that waterproof material.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
what that looks
neoprene
like.
and yeah,
Yeah.
it's waders and rubberized. It could be.
See the way
I
it
believe.
ruffles right there underneath the arm?
Yeah, supposedly it's possibly holding a baby or something or another.
Let's
That's what
see.
people point at. We'll replay it again here.
I feel like the arms aren't long enough. Like in the...
So this was shot in the Cass River here in the thumb, and supposedly the area was supposedly found. The people, I guess, it's by a building and stuff, and unfortunately, no one took, and we don't know. I mean, I could look up the average depth for the river that particular month, but no, we don't know how deep this river actually is. No one there. I measured it right there, and how deep it is at that point. That would pretty much determine how big this individual is, being if it's a regular size human or if it's a 7 or 8 foot tall creature or more. If you look at Think of Thunker's breakdown and stuff, he really zooms in and tries to analyze and show you the baby Bigfoot, how you can, you see the ruffle and kind of shadowing around the waist area.
Yeah.
That people think is a coat or where the waders come together and stuff. He's saying is a baby Bigfoot's foot is wrapped around the waist, and it's tucked underneath the arm right there, and the head is right there. You can see is the thing that's protruding out of the arm next to the chest. And claiming this individual is, arguably more taller in size than a person. From what I experienced stuff and know about the areas, there are definitely Sasquatches reported around this thumb. Historically, there's been many sightings. There seems to be a sighting every couple of years, and certainly along that river, there are sightings. So, I don't know. I would like and love to believe that this is the real deal, But it's again, it's not good enough. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if it's real, it would be good enough, It's if we could just prove it's real, but we just can't at this time. What do people in chat think about that? Pyromex says it's an odd place to be fishing and crossing. No poles can be seen, of course. Yeah, that's another thing is you don't really see any poles protruding and stuff. Of course, they're going to be a little bit thinner, but
I mean, I see people fishing like that all the time, so I can't really say nothing.
Right, I guess it's in the eye of the beholder, honestly, and that's the trouble about that video.
Yeah.
Is, I don't believe the people ever came out and said it was a fisherman and stuff like that. It was fake. They're pretty adamant it was a Sasquatch, and it's the community that's debating on whether or not it's a fisherman or if it's the real deal. So I know people, when they look at the area and they look at the whole thumb region, they laugh and say, there's no Bigfoot here. But surprisingly enough, I can tell you that it's definitely far from the fact. There's a lot of Sasquatches through the thumb and through the lower Michigan and through Canada, actually, across the lakes right there. So I don't know. It might be the real deal. It might not be. So actually, I was actually kind of convinced of I think it's Thunker, but it's dicey. So yeah, it's that's how it is when you have Bigfoot video. It's like that. It's grainy. It's far away. It's ambiguous, and it's a
Yeah.
short clip too. They didn't keep filming or anything. They didn't keep chasing after the thing or anything. And yeah.
Yeah. To me, it just looks like a fisherman, or like this guy said, a hunter. Because to me, it looks like a dark gray cap, not like a,
Mm-hmm.
but like the boggins. That's
Yeah,
what it looks
yeah.
like to me.
It could be. So, and that's why we're showing these clips because, we don't know, and we have, our own opinions, and I'm kind of leaning towards hopefully a Bigfoot, and I'm just doing it because of maybe I'm a little hopeful, but of the area and the history and stuff, but yeah, it's awesome. So let me read this message real quick from James. Looks like they're getting activity so far. They heard 3 wood on wood knocks and sounds like something moving around behind our tents.
Ooh, good.
At the wood line. Make that 4 knocks. So looks like they're getting activity right now. Hopefully, I'm sure these guys, if I know them, they're prepared. They have some audio equipment running. And if they're getting some stuff early as 11 o'clock right now, then I'm sure they have a whole night full of fun. So good luck, boys, good luck. That's what we want to see, and they seem to be in a pretty awesome spot too. So one that's not in Salt Fork, actually, not in the middle of the cluster of everyone else. So it's not other people at Salt Fork doing that to them. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get this going. Okay, we did that one. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit backstory on this one. And this is from the Finding Bigfoot show, but this is from Michigan, actually. And this is the western UP, Wisconsin border. We'll play this first clip first, and then I'll talk a little bit more, and then we'll show the second
spot
clip.
we visited last fall. The spot where an unusual image showed up in one of his trail cam photos. Back then, we couldn't show it. Now we can. A dark, hulking image amongst the trees that appeared in one frame and disappeared.
There is clearly something there.
And all I wanted to know, what is the truth? What is in this picture?
Out of the 3 photographs taken less than 2 minutes apart from one another, in that middle photograph, that large figure is there, but not in the other 2. That means something moved in and moved out of frame in those.
All right, thank you, Cliff. Of course, I'm sure many of you have seen that episode. But basically, the story is he got the trail cam photo and then called them, and they went out to investigate. Of course, you guys can watch the rest of that episode. But what is interesting, we'll play the second one that we can talk through, is the photo itself does appear to show something pretty large and stuff. Of course, you can see the Animal Planet episode where they go out there and they go investigate the actual spot, and they deemed it pretty viable and stuff. And I got his name. I gotta look his name up on my phone, but it's anyways, they threw a conference up there. It's the it's over on the Wisconsin Michigan border and stuff, and they usually they've had Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. Talk and look at this. And anyways, they have a conference out there, way out there in the western Michigan border, and I cannot remember his name. Okay, I apologize. But I think it's possible, real deal
Yeah.
stuff. That particular one, I don't think he hoaxed it or anything like that. He from what I've remember people talking about him and stuff, I believe he's passed away since this. I want to say I'm like 95% chance sure that he's passed away now. If I'm wrong, then I do apologize, but I'm pretty sure he's passed away. But they still do the conference and stuff. They're doing that this year. It's in, I think, I can't remember. I'm not saying it right. Minamo, Michigan, or something like that. It's way out in the middle of nowhere, and on the border and stuff, in prime Bigfoot habitat. I mean, you're in the wilderness out there. You're far reach, literally, and there is, I would imagine, a plethora of Bigfoot, and there's definitely clusters of missing 401 people out there, for sure, all through western Michigan and northeastern Wisconsin and the Minnesota border right there, and all along there towards Canada along Lake Superior. So
Yeah. No, I think that one is
yeah.
definitely something.
Yeah, I would recommend checking out the Bigfoot episode again on Finding Bigfoot. They do a better job at breaking it down and stuff, and going to the area and explaining everything, and talking with the witness, of course, and they do an investigation out that way. I don't think they get activity. That was the second episode. They come to Michigan twice. The older episodes, they came to Michigan twice, and that was the second one. The first one, they came and got. They came because we got audio. They had activity and stuff from a BFRO person, Jim Sherman, over here. Shout out to him. And he got some interesting audio. And then when they came, they got audio with production that was there when they weren't filming anything, with Jim, with his recorder and stuff that they heard. And was pretty awesome. A pretty awesome episode, actually. So check that one out, too, if you guys are feeling the need to watch Animal Planet's Finding Bigfoot. So let's move on to the next one. And we're going to do, this one is something that comes from Australia. So let's check it out. A story that I found on this one is a Bigfoot filmed in Australia, Yowie. And basically it just comes after the camera guy, and the camera guy, of course, runs away and shuts the camera off or whatever. There, I cropped it in a little bit more so you can see it and stuff. And so what's your opinion on this?
Well, I know with
What's your
the
take?
Yowie, they're made smaller, not necessarily as big as the ones we have here in North America. I mean, everything looks proportionally right with it. So I think it just depends. And I know different areas have different characteristics and behavior patterns. So the way it's running is, let's see, the arm swing looks.
I kind of think it might be a person in the suit, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's a bit too blurry.
See how it walks right there? It's kind of
Yeah.
like kind of looks like a human motion. A way it kind of
Yeah.
starts walking like.
Yeah.
That right there screams humanistic right there to me, you know.
Yeah. I'm not
Although
necessarily.
it looks pretty good. I mean, suit wise, not too bad.
I'm not necessarily
If it is.
Sure with like the Yowie and all that. I know mostly the Northern American and what we have.
Yeah, they average size and stuff. Supposedly they get they're a little shorter or to average size, and sometimes they're bigger. But it's hard to say. Again, it's just a video that the classic. It's running at it. The camera guy shuts the camera off, and it walks. Like a pretty human, tough guy walk.
Yeah.
But it's not that far away and stuff, and I would say it's an average looking camera and stuff, and it's not shot, and it's not clear. It's not good enough to tell it's what it is, and
yeah, I agree with
maybe
the paramedic his comment.
Yeah. We'll play it one more time for you guys. We'll jump on to the next one. When that startup movement is a little fishy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of those details that you got to pick up on these videos, because it's those details that kind of are abnormal, and kind of points to more humanistic movement. You think of Sasquatch, something wild, fluid in the woods.
The way it kind of puts a bit of jump in its step. I think that indicates what, like an arch? Ain't that the way that you bounce has something to do with the arch in your feet?
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like if it would have stayed like that, just the slower motion instead of the bouncing, I feel like it could have been a lot more believable.
If it was gone on all fours or something, or if you've seen one go on fours and launch itself into the air and jump and do something super acrobatic that just no human can do, then I would it'd be so much easier to be able to believe these things. Some feat of superhuman strength or athleticism or acrobatic showing that we could catch that would show hey, no humans bench pressing this log and throwing this, right? Or no humans able to climb up this tree and jump from here to here, right? Even though it's not a very good clear picture of the individual. I mean, you're right there, and physically you could see what most likely humans are capable of and what the creature would be doing. So I would love to get something like that, because then that proves it shows a little bit more than just something standing out there running away. It shows feats of physical or acrobatic prowess. So all right, let's do this one. And this is the all right, I will be right back. I gotta do something, but this is the Yellowstone footage, as you can see right there. I cut the footage down and stuff because it's basically a whole lot of nothing besides the buffalo watching the buffalo until this happens and stuff. So a lot of people were claiming that these were Sasquatches right there. And then I zoomed in, cropped this in, and showed them a little bit better on how they are walking and stuff. So people were claiming that these were Sasquatches and stuff. So what are you thinking, stuff? I want you to give us a little breakdown on what you think, and I will be back in about a minute or two. Thank you, guys.
I don't believe the arm length is long enough to be considered what we usually identify with Sasquatch. The type of stumbling and it's kind of like scooting. I think that makes it off to more like human standards. Let's see. Yeah, clearly people. I agree. Yeah, see, it's like a little shuffle. They do a little shuffle. And you can see it looks kind of like a glare coming off of the person's head. So, what are you guys thinking? I agree with Squatch Talk. Clearly, people. They do like a little shuffle in the snow, and I don't think the arms are right. Let's see. So, let's see. Sandra Popper, what are you thinking? Yeah, I agree. There's not enough mass. Yeah, definitely people. And I think the legs look a bit too long.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I had to attend to the little boy. Yeah, it looks like people walking.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, I know that the original clip wasn't zoomed in and stuff like that, and it made it harder. But when you zoom it in, clearly it's just an upright walking person with a human gait.
Yeah, and they do a little shuffle after it moves across this middle tree. You can see them. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Right there. It's like a...
Yeah. And people were like, they're so huge, they're the size of the buffalo. It's just because they're farther distance away, and it's the optical illusion that they look bigger and stuff. It's just a camera angle and all that. But you're right, it does a little like hop, skip, and a jump right there. And of course, we got Squash Talk right there with Pat. Thinker Thunker's most popular video, and he has smothered it in Bigfoot sauce. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Yeah, unfortunately, I think, Thinker Thunker has done some good work on some videos that thought was interesting. Some evidence I thought was interesting with some stuff that he has done is um, out there. I think Thugger made this famous, that footage famous. Yeah, yeah. But obviously, I think most people can see it's basically just a person, a humanoid gait. So I just looked through the comments. Sorry, guys. There we got there James right there with his little bar of connection. He says hello. Good look out there, guys. And hopefully activity keeps happening and you guys get some evidence. And have fun. That's the main thing. All right, so let's go on to the next video. I think it's a pretty well-known, famous video that everyone should recognize, of course. And that is the Patterson film with Patty herself. So this is a stabilized version, of course. The grandiose, the alpha video evidence that people use to compare to. What do you think about this? When did you first discover this footage, and what has your thoughts been? Has it changed? Has it evolved? And
At first, I didn't necessarily think that it was real, but I have analyzed this video so many times, and just with the muscle flexion, I think it is. I think it's real.
yeah,
Especially just with everything in the time, even like time frame. At that time, it would be more of like the male version of Sasquatch, I think, not the female. And like the flexion of the muscles, and you can see the back. And I think it is. I think it's real.
yeah, we'll show these a little bit more. Yeah, it's pretty hard to you would look at that, especially when you look at and there's other ones out there and stuff too. Thanks to I just forgot his name. I can remember his YouTube channel, Greenwave. MK Davis. Thanks to MK Davis, we have stabilized footage of these of Patty and stuff, and you can see, like you're saying, the muscle definition in the legs and the back and butt. You can actually see a butt crack, and some of the stuff you can see a butt crack. She has a butt crack going on, and I personally, in a suit and stuff, to make a butt and a butt crack and things like that, I mean, is above and beyond anything. And there's a lot of speculation that it could be a person in the suit. If you guys were watching Nikki's show with her last guest, he kind of alluded to people in the Bigfoot world possibly having a documentary with Bob saying maybe not. Something that's going to make people very upset about this film, or the circumstances of what happened, or something along the other. So I always thought there was more to this footage or to the story. And of course, when the original clip, when it stops filming her, supposedly the camera ran out of film. It totally just stopped right there. But I always felt like there's possibly maybe more footage, or there's more to the story. Not necessarily the massacre theory. I don't know if you're familiar with that. But something more. Not the whole being massacred and a family of them being shot and killed there and stuff like that. Possibly covered up and stuff like that. I think there's easily, things could have happened where, authorities or someone else got involved and some mishandling of this footage. Some say it was shot in October, some say it was in September. So maybe some lies and stuff going on with that, and it's interesting,
Yeah. Let's see. With the proves it's no guy in the suit. That's another reason, because it hasn't been debunked. And people have tried to debunk it, and nothing's came out of it yet. So.
Yep. Exactly. That's why I feel most likely it's why it's still true, is because it's never been proven faked, and a lot of money and scientific effort has went into looking at it, more than any other clip that we've shown here and any other clip on the internet or you can find, especially recent stuff. It still holds up. So one of the only videos I would assume that it's been looked at scientifically, and seriously, is that one. So even if it was faked and stuff, it came out to be a person in a suit, I would not slow my pace at all. It wouldn't bother me any. I would still not care. I have my own experiences and stuff, and it would not bother me any if that was proven to be fake.
I feel the same way.
And of course, yeah, they have the prints and stuff of Patty, and it's I've seen the replicas cast, and very impressive and good detail, and of course Dr. Meldrum thinks that they're real, and Cliff Brackman, of course. And there was reports of Sasquatch activity in the area. That's why Patterson and Bob Giblin went there. They got reports and stuff there, and they filmed this documentary. And there's some inconsistencies about things along the way, but they supposedly shot and filmed this and ran out of the film. And yeah, and it's the gold standard, man. So let's see. I think I got one more to show, which is basically what we had seen already, but so we did that one. Cropped it in just slightly a little bit more, but we're just showing these clips individually and stuff. So where this one is stabilized and frame by frame put together differently, and the walk and the gait, how she rotates the knee and stuff is non-human. Humans don't walk like that unless you are really trying to walk like that. And I guess the rotation and everything is just, humans just don't walk like that, basically. It's kind of creepy too. I mean, it's creepy when she looks at you. I mean, I always thought that face, man, is just something creepy about it.
Yeah.
It just feels powerful, and I mean, it looks like a big creature, too. So
the thing that gets me is the leg, how whenever she steps down, and you can see the muscle and like the little bit of jiggle on the thighs right there. See, that's what proves it real to me.
A lot of definition right there.
You can't do that with a suit. I mean, maybe you could probably now with the technology we have, but whenever you put it, when it was filmed, there's no way.
Yeah, like the effort and stuff, the butt crack and all this. I mean, it's just so much detail. And you look at what Hollywood was doing with Hollywood budget, right? That they spend on costumes and effects and stuff. They ain't coming close to that.
No.
So you're talking about some broke filmmaker and poor, farm boy rancher somehow spent more money than they make all year and created this costume that beat Hollywood and all that. It just doesn't really make sense either, you know?
Yeah, no, it don't. No. To
So,
me, it's 100% real, or at least 99. I guess there's always that percent chance, but
yeah, I'd be amazed if it was, I mean, if it was a suit, I would love to know how everything worked and how did this masterpiece look like this, because it just beats Hollywood's standards. And no, Pat, this is not the same Shannon that used to be on Sasquatch Chronicles. This is Shannon from Eastern Kentucky Bigfoot Research Team on Facebook. Researcher in Eastern Kentucky, right?
yep.
With a little dabble in the mystery big cats phenomenon, right? You've had that in the area and have a little sighting. Once you go into that a little bit.
Okay, so let's see. This was, can I say the area?
If you want to, I mean,
It don't
it's
matter.
all up to you.
It don't matter to me anymore because I'm
It's
not
all
in
up
the
to you.
area. Well, this way I'm not. I'll just say the county in Johnson County, in Kentucky. So we lived. It was across from a graveyard. So I mean, there might be something to that actually.
Yeah.
We lived in front of a graveyard, and then there was a graveyard across the hill. But this big black cat ran across my neighbor's yard, like his driveway, and it was me and my papa both sitting or staying. We was on the front porch, and we both saw it. It just ran by. It was a big black cat, and it wasn't like a house cat. It was like a cougar, panther, whatever you like to call it.
Right. It wasn't like a bobcat.
No, I've had
more.
I've had bobcats like as pets. Not way bigger.
That's awesome. So yeah, so you obviously know it did the difference, and it looks like a mountain cat, but jet black, all black.
Yes, jet black.
Can you estimate maybe the size? Can you just figure out how long it was possibly, or?
Let's see. I would think not necessarily as big as a Great Dane, but around that size with the long tail. So, not
Pretty good
necessarily as big as a Great Dane, but like a larger dog size.
That's pretty big. It's pretty big for a cat.
With a longer body, and then the long tail. Probably as big as my pit bull is what I'd say.
Okay. Yeah, and there's no official black cougars or mountain lions in North America ever. They just genetically do not produce black pigments in their fur and coats. South American pumas and leopards and stuff are jaguars. Leopards are in Africa. Jaguars and pumas can have jet black skin and stuff, but their builds they're different builds and stuff, different body types. Pumas are slightly smaller and slender, and of course aren't known to officially be in Kentucky. So awesome stuff. So yeah, and you do, of course, you research Bigfoot stuff and have family history with Bigfoot stuff that we've talked about in other episodes. Whether you've joined us, so there's a little bit on you for those who are just joining. I see some people are just joining us. Like the tall ones, Brent, who is researching. Seems to like on some of these characters, and says it was a $500 suit of Philip Morris that is better than Hollywood, and they stuffed it with some football padding or whatever, and that's how you get all the muscles in the legs, and you know, $500 is not cheap for a gorilla suit, right, back then, but it's not Planet of the Apes is what they made back then, and it's not that.
Yeah, I agree.
Football pads and hip waders, allegedly, which a lot of people think where you see at the hip where there's that black coming together of the fur or some type of coat or fabric or dress or dressing. Allegedly, foot pads and hip waders, huh? And Bob Hieronymus is the guy who was wearing the suit. The famous guy who claims that he is the person in the suit and walks. He walks like it. I don't know if he walks like it because of the film, but I have serious issues with the Morris and Bob Hieronymus claims. I personally don't believe them. Yeah, me either and stuff. Although Hieronymus was friends with Bob Goodman and neighbors, I believe, to him, or lived down the road or something along the lines. And then they did hang out and stuff, and they were friends, and they did. There's a picture with all of them hanging out together and stuff. So, of course, Brent Tallwans has all the information because he's researching a lot of this stuff recently. So Bob Hieronymus was supposedly be paid $1,000, which is $8,400 in today's standards. No way Roger would offer that amount of money, nor did Roger have that amount of money and stuff. You can look into Roger Patterson's money issues and scrounging around for money to rent the camera, and I think he had issues giving the camera back or something like that, and all around not enough money to pay anyone to hoax anything or buy a suit and things like that. Of course, they were friends pre-Patty film. Bob Hieronymus, Bob Giblin.
Roger Den Dovin says the black cat could have been escapee from an animal show, or someone had one as a pet. Now, the pet is probably could be a possibility, but
yeah, exotics. I don't know. What's the exotic? Do you guys know the exotic laws of Kentucky?
Oh,
and of
yeah.
Course,
I have a lot of stuff on that. There was this guy that had like lines and stuff in his backyard, but that's a whole different thing. We don't have like any type of animal shows or anything down this way, at least towards where I'm from. That's more of like the richer parts of the state. So I don't think it would be anything like that.
Yeah, I know, especially back in the 60s and earlier on, but 60s and 70s and stuff is when, in the 80s, the exotic animal laws and stuff started coming into effect where, you couldn't buy all these big cats and reptiles and stuff. Michigan was pretty relaxed, as always has been. I still think it's pretty relaxed. I know my friend growing up, his grandparents had lions and stuff growing up, and we used to never believe him, but it turned out he was not lying at all. And I think they had an accident there too, because you can't keep it's like a dog and pets. You can't keep something in a cage for so long, especially a big lion, big cat, and they want to get out, and especially you can't build any kind of relationship with them.
Yeah.
And I personally think in any real way, because it's like jail and stuff. It's just a prison for them. So
Yeah, the one I know, he kept it in a dog cage.
Yeah. So yeah, Roger was broke. Bob Gimlin had to pay for the trip down to Bluff Creek, which is known and stuff. So there was no money to spend and pay people and all this, all that. So yeah, it just it points to it being more real and stuff. And so hope you guys having fun. We're an hour and 30 minutes in, and we got a couple more video clips to show you guys. So yeah. So the next one has sound. So we'll be able to. I think we can be able to talk over it. We'll have to unmute ourselves, I believe. But this is shot on a mountain range where supposedly a Sasquatch entity is crossing it very fast and at unusual speed, is what the hikers and stuff are saying in the video. So. Oh, that was the wrong one. There we go. All right. So yeah, there's that one. And Brent, unless you're talking about the other one, that we got his little sneak peek of. This one, yeah, I think was shot in was it South America?
Not sure.
Stuff. So. Yeah, if there's any information for you guys, please let us know. Let us know, please. But they are in the middle of nowhere, and you know, it looks like that thing is moving pretty fast. You know, is it one of their buddies? Is it a local? I don't know, but
I think
do you?
Either way, it's impressive just to be able to do that.
That's for sure. Yeah, this came out a couple years ago and stuff, and I do remember hearing that people were thinking it's fake and stuff, and but you know, sometimes, you know, these videos come out and then you hear there's a phrase, you know, basically, you know, you have the official narratives that calm things down, especially when you have smaller localized cities and towns and stuff. I mean, and not all of it. I mean, what's the possibility of all of these being fake and stuff? You know, there's so many out there that are obviously faked, but some out there that you know are like, you know, I agree with that. It's real. It's just misidentified. You know, if it's human or not.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way to actually tell, but.
No, you'd have to, you know, go back there and recreate it, and even then, you know, what was the snowfall, and you know, how deep was the snow, and how actually what was the distance between the stuff covered, and but it's pretty impressive. It is middle of out there, and it's one of those videos that not many people would go out there to fake. You know, did those people fake it? You know, it's obviously, you know, but we have this other video. We'll play here, which is a pretty old video. I think this is actually called the Snow Walker video, Brent. I'm not sure if you were referring to this one at first, but a lot of you guys probably know a little bit of history on this one. Shannon, do you remember seeing this one? This was
Yeah.
Yeah, featured on a couple old shows back in the day. Let's hear the people comments, thoughts, and stuff, and then I'll let you know what a lot of people have said. And A lot of people think. So the story is supposedly this was shot a few different stories, I guess. Supposedly it was like in the Himalayas, and other people think it's out in like Oregon or Washington. Some people think it's a person in snow gear. So let's hear it.
Well, I can see both points on that because in one, it does look kind of like a darker gray jacket with black on the sides. But I think that the way it's moving seems kind of what we identify with Bigfoot, with the arm swings. But also, you could put that in with somebody struggling. So,
Yeah, supposedly, I guess the camera guy got startled and he started filming the Yeti. Got up, started walking, and it really depends on how deep is that snow, and is it possible for? I mean, it's hard walking in snow, and I haven't got all the way up there, but there also doesn't seem to be any film of it going all the way up to the ridge and walking
yeah.
along the ridge. Like it cuts from it walking up there, then it's a very short, like couple second clip of it's on the ridge. And
I'm leaning more towards a person. Just because
and
of
so
the multicolors.
yeah, so there was a program where Jeff Meldrum and I can't remember the other individual who looked at this, and they were I thought it was pretty genuine and stuff. So supposedly the production team and of that particular show might have hoaxed this or fabricated this instance and stuff. So I don't know if Brent, you have or Pat or anyone else in there has information on this, because this one's a little bit older, but supposedly they might have hoaxed it, or it's just a person in snow gear that's tromping through heavy snow. But Jeff Meldrum thought it was pretty interesting and stuff, at least in that televised interview analysis he did. I don't know if he changed his opinion now on it or anything like that. But we'll play it one more time for you guys. It is interesting. It is in deep snow, and it's hard. Yeah, it's hard work. Iron Dogger's saying she definitely knows. Being up in Alaska, deep snow. Been on these mountains. We're talking about feet of snow, 4 feet plus, 5 feet plus, and and it's a pretty good slope and stuff too. So it just really begs the question now. And again, it's just so hard. It's not good enough. Now this camera was shot in the early, I think, 2000s, late 99, 2000s. So 180p would be like brand new on the market, platinum cameras and stuff. So this might be that. It might not be. I don't think it's 180 HD. It's most likely it was shot in like 720. And another thing is, no one went over there to look for tracks. No one went over there to film any impressions in the snow. Nothing like that. Supposedly, if this camera guy was out there, doing that, why wouldn't he go out there and film this trackway? I know I would, but
yeah, at least finish videoing it. Go up the hill.
Right, it jumps from there, then it's on the hill, right? So where's the in between?
Yeah.
So that's why they said the production for that show with Jeff and the other guy was fabricated.
Yeah.
And maybe better than most.
With TV too, they do stuff just to get, the attention.
They do. They have to Yeah, he might not be able to get over there, right? It might be. And plus, he's maybe if it is legit and stuff, he's freaked out. I know most average people are not going to go over there towards Sasquatch, and I would be very comprehensive too, even though that's what I really want to do and push myself toward to do. But it's not good enough, you know. It's still one of those. It's just like it does show what really has to happen is you have to go to the spot, you have to film, you get evidence of the Sasquatch tracks, possibly hair, you know, DNA, eDNA, stuff like that. There's a bunch of stuff that could have been taken from there, and you got to have some nerves of steel to get to do it. Paramedic, it doesn't appear to be purposely doing anything or going somewhere like an animal does. They don't waste energy. So it says the snow looks about 4 feet deep. Well, we can't really tell, you know. I would say at least 2 feet deep if it's average size, 6 foot human, you know, 3 feet deep there. And if it's more, then yeah, it just points to that the individual is bigger than average human. So no one was out there with a measuring stick to see how deep the snow was next to the track line and stuff, which would be good indicator. I mean, there's a lot of things we as researchers really need to do when we've come across stuff. I mean, the real deal stuff. And I've been there. I should take my own advice too, because I've been in situations where I didn't go chase after the creature, and well, I didn't really properly maybe go check out all these tracks and try to find more and measure them and measure all and do a lot of different things that maybe I could have done and things like that. But we really do need to step up and try to analyze and get this better evidence and go to these spots and look at the things and get film and evidence to show people of not just one footprint, you know, especially if you have a whole trackway, not just one or two. I mean, just try to film as much as you can, the whole thing and the environment and where it went to. And if you, you know, can maybe follow it a little bit. So yeah, some red flags about that, you know, but then again, you're telling people to go chase after a 7 foot to a 12 foot tall monster and creature. Most people, including myself, you know, you get apprehensive about it, right? So.
Well, that's kind of like the big cats over towards this way. I've been trying to advocate for, because you have people that are wanting to, I mean, they're just wanting to go out and like just shoot them for no reason, just to say they did, and you just got like the ignorance of it. And that's been kind of a struggle over towards this way, is just ignorance.
Yeah, I bet. Doesn't seem like anyone's been successful though, which
No.
which is a little strange. You know, I think you Kentucky boys and girls would be adequate enough to shoot the big cat in the woods and stuff like that. And you know, the locals think there's any like supernatural things about these big, especially the black version of these cats and stuff. Or is there any reason why there's no killings and there's no one can trap them in like a hunting trap?
Well, if you want to do like the Native American type of twist to it that we have over here, it's a type of spiritual being, if you want to go that route.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems to be like an average. I mean, we catch cats all the time. I mean, people out west, especially, it's not too hard to tree a big cat with some dogs and shoot it or take pictures of it. But seemingly, these black cats, especially, elude people, elude traps and hunters and video cameras, and but yet are seen by witnesses and seen to be very powerful creatures and There's no scientifically known black cats, big black cougars or mountain lions in North America. So, what is it? It'd be something special, or is it something new, something spiritual? What do you guys in the chat think? And Iron Dogger, have you ever heard about any like black cats up in the Alaskan frontier from any of the locals and people you've come across? It'd be interesting to hear. And Iron Dogger's comment earlier on the Patterson film was there's supposedly multiple Bigfoot filmed on that film, of the Patterson film. I know there's speculation that there might be another Bigfoot on top of a hill looking down, and potentially others and stuff, but it's just grainy and it's really hard to tell accurately and definitively. I think that happens, but again, there's no documented cases of black cats in the wild, that look like cougars. There's no black lions. There's no lions found. There's exotics that you can own, that you can, of course, release.
If you're over, like, you have to know about Eastern Kentucky. We don't have that type of people around here with that type of money to have exotic pets like that, unless they're like they brought them in from some other place like that one guy did, but that's something completely different.
Yeah. So, yeah, or like some rich, famous people, elitist people, and their bunkers out there in Kentucky have released these cats, right? Genetically altered cats that they've had. Whatever it is, it's definitely not natural or officially known to science, because even if it's a natural just subspecies of mountain lion in North America that is super rare and is about to be extinct, that'd be a major find and a major scientific find. It would be a cryptid that would become real and scientifically recognized, because it is a cryptid right now. It's not taken seriously by science, and maybe it's just a new subspecies, or it's something. Anything more than that would be beyond the official narrative the scientists would like to accept.
Yeah. Well, again, I think it goes along with, well, we have proof, about like my aunt's dog that got attacked by a mountain lion, but apparently we don't have any in Kentucky. Even though there's the actual claw marks and stuff from the cat, it's on record. So
yeah, I mean, you can buy, and they're savanna cats and stuff, and that Russia has some big black wild, they look like house cats, but they're kind of wild, and they're about the size, they're a little smaller than bobcats. They have them in, I think, Norway too. Of course, Russia has Bengal tigers, and a Bengal tiger, Siberian tigers, and a Siberian tiger sanctuary over in the far eastern side of Russia in Kamchatka regions. But of course, they're not black or anything like that. So yeah, it's a mystery. It's fascinating and stuff, and I know you're studying it, and you've seen it, and it blows my mind. When you see these things and stuff, it's not supposed to be real, and officially, it's not. These black ones, especially, are officially not supposed to exist and be around. So.
Oh well, according to Kentucky Fish and Wildlife, we don't have any at all.
Yeah, cougars, regular ones. Yeah.
We don't have mountain lions, anything like that, according to them. But we do. But
Yeah, it's like Michigan. We have none or very little, none. You know, in lower Michigan, especially. But you talk to the locals and stuff, and they get them on game cameras all the time in the upper peninsula where there's supposed to be, not many, and get them here in northern Michigan and then lower Michigan. There are a lot, definitely is operations from the DNR, which is what we have, Fish and Wildlife. Operations of them seemingly having breeding populations and moving them around the state, and moving individuals around the state for sure. It seems to be happening, and picking up cats that are maybe in a suburb and relocating them, but basically not keeping it under wraps and stuff, and still locating them, not in the wilderness of the UP, but still in the farmlands of lower Michigan. So
I'm reading the little.
yeah, Jay Fritz.
Yeah,
Can-
like we have them here. I mean, my uncle has them on, like you said, game cameras and stuff.
And that's Iron Dogger up in Alaska. She's a pretty awesome woman out there. Any Alaskan woman out there in the wilderness has to be pretty awesome. And I'm kind of jealous because I wish I was out there. That is just true epic wilderness where you could walk for a lifetime and never see a person, I'm sure, if you went in the right direction. Yeah, it's amazing. I think North America still has a lot of secrets, both up in Canada and Alaska and down in the lower continental. All right, so let's move on to the next video clip that we have. This is actually from my own breakdowns of these videos, so they're enhanced and colorized a little bit differently. The story on these following clips they come from eastern Texas. These comes from when we this first one got sound and stuff. So give me so these come from eastern Texas and stuff, from a property that basically set up cameras facing mirrors, and the mirrors would pick up the activity in the yard and stuff. And supposedly there were Sasquatch coming on the property and fighting on the property and messing with the people and stuff. And they would play with the tires and stuff and doing things on these cameras. And these was filmed on VHS tapes. And of course, MK Davis got in possession of all of them and has worked on them and dropped them, of course. So people probably know what I'm hinting at and stuff. And a lot of people think that a lot of people have different opinions about these ones. So we'll play this and go through it. So right there you can see NK Davis right next to the fence at the corner piece that you can see how tall it is. And of course, this is the famous fence jumper video from East Texas. A lot of people think it's faked, just a guy crossing a fence. And what do you think about this? Have you seen this one before, and what's your opinion on it?
I have before, but again, it's been a while. I mean, like my first sighting, it was actually type of like the same environment as that. So I mean, I think it possibly could be real. I mean, my first encounter was pretty much that same. I believe that was cornfields.
This is actually
Was
a
it
garden next to a
garden?
house. It's a garden, fenced-in garden with
Okay.
crops.
Okay, that's yeah. I think that was corn. I'm not sure though, but I'm pretty sure. For my first encounter I ever had was like our corn and our beans, and the creature went right by where our garden and stuff was. So I think it's real. And now it kind of looks a little weird and off-putting whenever it puts its leg over the
Right.
fence, but
Yeah, so a lot of people are apprehensive about this clip and the individual who filmed these things. So we can let's view it again. This time, try to talk over this film. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but yeah, basically right here it looks pretty human, right? Crossing it, but if you look at the photo right there, that fence is, about 5 foot tall. I think about MK said. MK's not too tall, so I think it's about 5 feet tall. I can't do that.
no.
I can't lift my leg up and do that, and so we're gonna show another clip from this that we can talk over though. But let's see what the comments are. A lot of people don't like that movement of that leg crossing over, and the backstory on the individual is a lot of people think he is faking some of these videos, and some people think that maybe it was like Ivan Mark syndrome, where he had real stuff happen on his property. He potentially filmed some of the stuff that we see that could be real, but some of the other stuff, maybe he started faking and stuff. And there's like a white Bigfoot video that MK thinks is real. Other people thinks maybe it's the property owner with white overalls behind some trees and stuff like that. Again, like this one was a person that just ran and did it. So the story is that officially, like, they would go into the garden and stuff, and they would smack on things, and they would run around and they would avoid the cameras if it was pointed at them. But if you had the cameras pointed in the wrong direction at the mirror would capture it. Now this is shot at a mirror, and I cropped it in that particular shot. At first, I thought this was kind of fake. When I was doing this breakdown and stuff, I thought, it's probably fake, and that movement was fake. But this next clip, it kind of made me, maybe question things a little bit more because of the details that I kind of seen. I don't know, maybe no one else is going to see it, but it kind of leaned me towards maybe it's possibly real. Some of the other clips, which I don't have here, is they chained up a tire to a tree, and one of these Bigfoots, it's in the dark and stuff, so you can't see everything, but it grabs it and shaking it, and it seems very powerful, a lot more powerful than a human could do.
I know the one you're talking about.
There's a series of these now. Supposedly, MK. I interviewed MK, and it sounds like there could be potentially more evidence that has to be gone through, but there's a lot, and MK's a busy person doing all sorts of stuff. So here is this is a closer clip that I did, a breakdown enhancement that kind of shows a little bit closer. You see the face a little bit more, and shows the individual running and stuff. Okay, so you can see right there that it looks like its face is a kind of different shade color right there than the top of its head. You can see an eyeball. Now, I personally, when I was doing this, I'm showing different filters and stuff. I was amazed, and it's like, well, either the person is, if it's fake, he's wearing a mask, right?
Hmm.
And it looks to be like a cone head.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Was the shape of the head looks.
I'll replay that again. So that kind of got me leaning. Maybe it was real. And because the picture of MK, unless they took the fence down and or added more barbed wire to make it look like they faked it and then added another foot or two of barbed wire and then had NK come over, like it looks pretty legit.
Yeah.
That you can see eye sockets, especially the left eye socket. And as I'm doing different filters, you can see the right eye socket.
Yeah.
That's not pareidolia. That's not. It's not a pixel and stuff. And when you see it move, uh, you can see it moving. So either it's a mask or it's a real individual. And you can see other features. So you can see the full breakdown on the Lost Cryptids YouTube channel, and is the face fence climber video. I think I named it, and you can watch the full breakdown I did and some of my thoughts and stuff as the video goes on. So please check that out if you're interested. That's my own personal enhancement and stuff of that. So here we got another clip of what it was shot like, and these are two supposedly Bigfoots fighting with each other, and then stopped by a bigger Sasquatch that comes into the frame. All right, so that was that's how it's shot. Is they have a big mirror set up. The camera's facing the mirror, and you are seeing the reflection of what's captured. And that it was proven to be how they were effectively able to film the Sasquatches without them caring and stuff. But if they had the cameras facing them without the mirror, the Sasquatches would not come out to play, basically. So, so just putting it out there and shot it on VHS, of course. All right, so we'll do this another breakdown of this a little bit, and we'll be able to talk through it. Have you seen that clip before? Have you seen?
I've watched all of the
Okay.
MK's stuff.
Yeah, MK does all of this on his channel. Green Wave. It's like a number after that, 2000 something or 2013 maybe. Yeah, because he has the possession of all this, so he's the one doing all the digital copies, basically, that you see that come up. So I thought I killed the sound on this, but the there's a little bit closer cropped in view. Now, supposedly, now this is the big one walking out towards the shed. The shed is supposedly about 12 foot up off the ground. In the beginning and stuff, you see a white one right here, a white Bigfoot and a black Bigfoot fighting with each other. And then the big one separates it, walks over. Supposedly, all of a sudden. Unfortunately, I can't play that music. Well, YouTube doesn't like it. Anyways, basically, there's a white Bigfoot, a black Bigfoot fighting, and then it gets separated by this big one. People are saying the official hoax narrative is it's his daughter playing with a dog. Like a dog is on its hind legs playing with the little girl, and then the property owner comes into frame, and then it's standing closer to the camera, and then it appears like he's taller or whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
Or the official, if it's real, story is the shed's 12 feet tall. That's how tall the big one is. And then the other ones are as tall as the doors, which were about 8 foot off the ground. So if it was two real Sasquatches 8 foot off the ground, tall wise, then this massive one towers over them. It's pretty frightening to think about.
Definitely. I mean, just going off of my personal experiences, I know they will they'll steal out of gardens. Let's see. That's just, I think that it's real in my opinion. Just because of, I guess, my experiences with the gardens, and I know that they can get familiarized with certain areas.
Yeah, here's Brent has a pretty good point about this. You think the animals would go quiet when a large predator is in the area,
That's
or
true.
fighting with each other.
That's true.
Supposedly, I guess they were around the animals. They didn't bother them too much to where they freaked out. But supposedly they were on the property a lot, and that's why they started putting up the cameras everywhere. So, I mean, it's one of those things. If it really is a little girl and who has a dog that's, holding its arms and the dog's standing on its hind legs, I mean, man, we're really not doing a good job with video cameras and trying to analyze stuff and all this, because it's like there is other quality videos out there that are different stuff that might be able to see different aspects. But I believe that one was, when I enhanced it, was trying to see the big guy a little bit better. But you can't really tell if it's closer or if it's next to the shed, in my opinion. But there is some type of distortion going on, because when he's walking out, there's a distortion. Because when he gets to the fence, all of a sudden his head, he pops up and he's another 2 feet up. So I'm not sure what's going on to where he's missing like 2 feet off of him, and he's walking out. All of a sudden, you can see it pops up. I wasn't supposed to have the music on there. I can show you guys more of it, but you guys can watch that video clip on the YouTube on the Lost Cryptids channel, of course. It's older when I first started the channel. All right. We got this is the last clip from the clips I prepared, and then we can look at some of the evidence that we've captured. But we're gonna play this and get your opinion, Shannon, and then we'll go from there. Let me read these. Okay. Yeah, this one is the last one, and we'll take a listen to this one, and then we'll be able to talk through the following clip on it.
Targets. Okay. Oh, nice. Close. Try.
You got it.
You gonna try the shotgun? Whoa. Whoa, that was a big kick. You okay, Brock?
All right, that's the official clip of that. Have you seen that one before? What's your take on that?
I don't. Again, it's hard to say, but I don't think I have. I may have.
It's
But-
older.
Yeah.
It's older too.
It's interesting. It looks, the figure in the background that runs off, it seems like it's very large. But then again, it kind of looks a little bit off too. So I don't know.
This next clip might get a better picture for you because it's a little bit enhanced and so the backstory on this is basically they're out there shooting guns, and he's the boys learn how to shoot like any good American. They're shooting a 22 at first, which doesn't make too lot of a sound, and it's very little kick, very basically the starting weapon any young child would learn how to shoot with, a BB gun, and then a 22 rifle, and very tiny bullet. And then of course you hear them say, okay, now you're going to use the shotgun. Of course that's a lot louder, powerful weapon, and seems to shock this individual into it runs and crosses, and then it actually goes on all fours, as you'll see in this clip, and continues to watch the kids.
Yeah.
That's
That's something. That's a good video.
yeah, a little bit better visual on that one. Just cropped in a little bit, and I did the enhancement myself on this, so it's a different color than the original, and I think it makes it possible a little bit more detail. But yeah, it runs out, and then it crawls on all fours, and it gets into place, and it continues to watch the family, and that doesn't scream human at all. First off, if it's a person in the family, like people have seen, like say, like the family sees the individual, well, you don't shoot a target down range where the person's down range, and even though he's to the side, it's still not a good habit, and shooting discipline to do that. And also the individual runs away when he shoots the shotgun. It's the surprise and shock, and if it's a Sasquatch and it runs away, then it stops and gets back, and it crawls, and it gets into place, and it still is observing the family. And of course, this helicopter is flying over unknowingly, if it knows about the Sasquatch or not. I've heard some theories like the Sasquatch is avoiding the helicopter, or is concentrated on the helicopter, or something like that. I don't really think so. I think it's concentrated in watching the family. Like
Yeah.
Sasquatches was in the area, the family pulled up to do some shooting, and it's watching them do some shooting, and then it got scared by the shotgun because it's powerful blast. It's bigger. Probably realizes that it's powerful, and he gets spooked. got spooked.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So,
mean, even the all fours, that is, people have reported that. So, I mean,
oh yeah,
everything
yeah.
seems like it's there. So,
I personally found that to be more credible than some of the other ones on here, honestly. Besides the Patterson, I think this was. I mean,
yeah,
it's up there. It needs to be looked at a little bit more and broke down. And if people spent the money and you can get videos professionally done and broken down and looked at and enhanced forensically. That is not done. I mean, there's dozens of videos that need to be done. I'm sure are actually pretty interesting videos. But
I agree.
I-
Well, most people that aren't actually in the field don't know that that is a Bigfoot, like something they do. So that's interesting, because a lot of people just think they, run off. They don't exhibit that on all four type of posture.
yeah, I think there are on all fours often. Honestly, it hides them, and they can go through the brush a little bit easier and underneath stuff. And I apologize for the music and stuff. I was not supposed to be on there. That was my mistake in the editing process. I guess I left the sound on, so I apologize for blasting your eardrums, guys. We're gonna watch it one more time. So right now, if you guys want to get yourself ready, lower the volume a little bit, maybe mute it, we are going to initiate the sound blasting of that clip again, so we can see it before we move on and stuff. Because I think it's interesting if you guys look at the movement, try to look at the stride length. Try to look at what is it doing and stuff. Does it look like it's a human doing human things, or if it's more something else? So you have been warned. And I do apologize. It wasn't supposed to be like that because I wanted to be able to talk over it while it was playing. So I do apologize. Okay, we are initiating in 3, 2, 1. Another thing is the family never reacts to the individual at all.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I feel like if it was a hoax video, they would have made a big scene about it.
Or even a glance towards it to give away
Yeah.
that they know and haha. Because people, especially when they trying to set up stuff, they sometimes, especially a little kid, might do a little peek over and stuff and things like that. It gives it away. But no, they don't see the individual at all. They don't react at all.
Yep. Let's see. That is a good point.
I think I laid over some multiple tracks on top of each other, so those are two different things. So I don't know what I was doing, but having fun. You got to have fun when you're doing this stuff. And what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say there's a good point to make with that. So, okay, you know how you can go hiking or basically humans are blind to everything. There can be something right in front of you and you just walk by it. I've saw this multiple times, like in Cades Cove and stuff in Tennessee. There will be black bears literally right next to people, and they don't even pay attention to it. They just walk right by it.
Wow.
No,
That's
I've
crazy.
saw this several times. So I think that it's something that we do. We just don't pay attention as humans, and I think that can come back on a lack of why a lot of people don't see them as much. Because, like, whenever you're going down the road, you're not necessarily focusing on seeing a Bigfoot. You're focusing on the road, unless you're like a passenger or something. Then, even then, you're more likely to be on your phone or, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I would say modern humans are like that, especially the cell phone era humans, especially. Yeah, modern humans are, we're like toddlers out in the woods. We lollygag out there, tiptoeing around and get focused on whatever. But in the vast majority of instances, we overlook everything. And when we scan and stuff, we overscan everything unless it's moving very fast and it's movement that catches our eye. Anything that's standing still, and monetarily, camouflaged enough of the environment, we are not looking at.
Yeah.
But if you're hunting and observing and you're actually focused and stuff, and it's a little bit harder for them to hide, but it's still, they can just hide inside a shadow and they look like the shadow, or they're inside brush and they look like just a shadow inside some brush and stuff. It's very hard. I mean, especially with winter over now, it's the leaves and the greenery. It's I don't know where it's at, how in your state yet, but it's coming along, and eventually when it's fully green in summertime, they're going to be able to get right up next to you. I mean, you look when it's in the fall and spring, and you look how far you can see, and then you look when it's all green, you can't see 20 feet in, and they can get that close and you won't ever know it. And it's scary. And
we're already green over here.
Yeah, there's a false sense of security in state parks and or on trails or in not the wilderness, but just woods. Just your backyards or the back hills where you're at. But anything can happen.
Definitely.
So. Yeah. So that is all the clips that I have for you guys. Besides, well, actually, I got one more for you. It's one that we already had up here. I'm just looking through some of the stuff that we are already showing you guys, evidence that we have, and some other clips. We have a bunch of audio and. So I will show this, and this is from Bob Daigle, who is a Michigan researcher. We kind of consider him the godfather of Michigan Bigfoot research because he was one of the original and the only one who has shared his research publicly. There's other ones who, unfortunately, their stuff has not been shared, and so we don't know. We don't know anything really from them. But Bob has shared and has been out in the field with me and the Lost Cryptids, and it's an awesome individual and very knowledgeable. But he set up this static cam in the 90s with VHS tapes of a Sasquatch vandalizing a piece of property and stuff. And so he shared me with the clip and stuff of him being on the news showing it and stuff, and has this on VH tape, and has another clip too, but we'll show this one. And so you see this individual Sasquatch is punching out these boards, and if you guys look, those are pretty wide boards, and those are not light. And so he's punching that, and he's going to pick up a piece of cement block, and he's going to chuck it underhand doorway. You see it there. He's going to chuck it underhand. That's a pretty good amount of force out that. Hits the door frame, bounces off that. And then, unfortunately, it was buffering right there. And so, yeah, this was set up on a camera. And then Bob was out there investigating the property and thinks it's 100% legit. Seeing the destruction firsthand, being out there, the witness to the stories, and of course this video film. So and that's him on the news when he went on the news to do it and stuff, and that's Bob right there, the older gentleman on the right. And so he sent me that clip and stuff, and so I screen recorded it and tried to chop it up and messed with it a little bit and stuff, but unfortunately it is pretty, it's old, it's dark, it's shot, it's probably it's a 720, 720p, it's not HD or anything like that, so you can't really enhance or pull really much things, at least from without spending some buku money on it, to see the individual. What I find fascinating is the way he punches or smacks these boards right off the frame. And those boards look like they're foot tall frames or board pieces. And if you punch something that comes nailed in and it comes off, like it didn't just punch one end off. I mean, the whole board came off perfectly parallel and stuff. That's some force. I don't know. I mean, I've punch bags and stuff like that. And I can tell you that's some force right there. And then picking up the cinder block, to me, it seems like that's a lot of force, underhand throw to bounce off that door frame. But that's my personal opinion. What's your view on this? And
no, I definitely agree with that.
Let's watch it again as you give us your opinion.
Yeah, I think there is a good amount. Let's see. It looks like wide too. Figure does.
Yeah, it looks pretty big. So yeah, chuck the cinder block.
I've heard not encounters, but stories of Bigfoots like destroying homes and stuff.
That's what I was doing.
It's interesting. I know that.
Yeah. This is one of these clips that are definitely not out there on the internet. It's not well known. Bob is, he doesn't have a YouTube channel. He's old school. He doesn't, do all that stuff. And
yeah.
So, I'm gonna hit that.
I wonder why. I mean, I guess I can get the sense of it, but I wonder why, like, Bigfoot and stuff destroys, like, buildings and stuff. Because there's a good amount of reports of that.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? And I can't remember in that particular instance the story of the property owner, why it was out there destroying it and stuff. But I know he had activity on the property, and Bob went out there and they filmed it and caught that. So I think it's pretty interesting. I think it's. I'm gonna
Yeah.
lean from knowing Bob and stuff. He's the real deal. He's a real deal researcher and old school too, of where uh, it's not nonsense, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
It
And
definitely seems real to me.
I believe that was in Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. He said that was caught in Ohio. I believe it was not caught in Michigan. It was in Ohio.
Hmm.
And he's researched in multiple states, of course, in Ohio and been all over Michigan and has extensively been around Michigan, probably all over the places you can go. And he's actually experienced a few things and come across a body track in the snow where one was laying down
Hmm.
and multiple tracks and droppings and stuff. So yeah, pretty amazing guy. So you can check out some of his stuff. Well, you can check him out. We did an outing with him, and that was about 2 years ago. You can watch us going out and we investigate some tree structures and try to find tracks and stuff, and come across some interesting stuff that we talk about. And he talks about some stories and stuff that he's investigated, which is very interesting. So
We've got some comments. It says it doesn't appear to be as tall as the door frame.
yeah, it's hard to say. It doesn't step directly in the door frame,
Yeah.
but it seems like it's pretty wide. Wide head and
Yeah.
stuff. But it is hard to tell. I mean, it's dark. It's shot in low quality uh,
Possible
pitch.
juvenile, maybe? I don't know. It says teenagers always do crap, mailboxes, graffiti. Yeah, that one. I mean, that is true. But also, it looked a bit too big to be a teenager. Like, just the width.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to say, honestly, because
Yeah.
supposedly even like a 7-footer could still not be an adult. So in some regions, I guess. So Robert says, I wonder how the camera was being hidden since Bigfoot seemed to know when a camera was on. I think it was just on a tripod or on a stand, facing the direction. That one wasn't using mirrors or anything like that.
Also,
And they
I
just
feel
got lucky.
like they've kind of advanced too, because you said this was during what, 90s?
Yeah, late 90s, I believe.
I mean, I think Bigfoot kind of, I guess, evolves along with us. I mean, because they're not. I mean, there was cameras in the 90s, but like not necessarily to the point like we have today.
Oh yeah, by far. Especially with like IR.
Yeah.
That's a big one. And modern cameras are different electrical frequencies and hertz rates,
Yeah.
and they're a lot more advanced than that. So potentially be able to pick up more. Now I know people think like the Patterson film was filmed on, older style camera film, where it doesn't have any digital electronic noise or frequencies going on and things like that, or II or anything digital. No corruption, no battery being drained and stuff like that, or error. Or I've shot I'm very disappointed. I've shot a 10-minute clip of me in the forest by myself, and it's a screen, and then all of a sudden it's like it zooms in, and it's like black screen on the outside of the zoom, and then all of a sudden it just zoom flies off screen, and then it's like there's nothing.
Yeah.
And I filmed it. And it's like, well, I don't know. I've never come across that error with the camera I got. I don't know what happened to that clip, but very strange.
I think they can sense, at least with new technology.
I agree. I definitely think so. And like you said, they do evolve alongside of humans. They pick up on our things. They observe us, and they understand our mannerisms and what we're like out in the woods, especially out in the woods, and how they can tactically be on top of every situation with us in the woods. I mean, and it's true. Literally, even if we have guns, even if they will tactically observe us and outplay us, maneuver us in every way possible because they've been observing us for so long, and modern humans too.
No, I agree. And I feel like that's why we have a different outlook on Bigfoot than what our grandparents did. So, you know, back in the day, Bigfoot was seen more as like a scary animal being you didn't want to mess around with. And now today, I mean, it's still that, but it's more of like, go towards it and
Yeah, it's friendly forest giant and stuff, and
yeah.
it seems less dangerous and monstrous, and it's not eating women and children and men, right?
Yeah.
I think it still is, though. If we
Yeah.
really want to be honest about it, I mean, these creatures, our ancestors, the natives, say that they ate us. My people used to say they used to eat us. They have stories of them trading with each other, and some good stories, but there's a lot of bad stories all across native North America and
Yeah.
Canada and Alaska of them not being nice. There's actually in Alaska, the natives there have stories of these creatures, or maybe different ones with tails, that they actually have tails, and that they ate the Native Americans, and the natives came together, multiple tribes came together, went to war, drove them to caves, lit the cave entrances on fire, and killed these man-eating giant apes with the tails, basically. And you see that all across North America, from Alaska, Canada, all the way down to Nevada. They love lot caves. They drove them into caves, lit it on fire because they would eat the Paiute. They'd eat them. And
Yeah.
what can you say if these things are eating people and the natives say that? It's always in the back of my mind, and it's like going in these bushes and stuff after these things. It's like, if it really is this monstrous thing, it's why doesn't it not seem like they're doing that now, or why is it like so deceiving? Let's say that's scary. What if it's out there being nice to deceive us into this playful lull, this just sense of safety, and then bam, I got you.
I mean, I was raised you don't go outside at night, so that's just I have type of like a fear of it anyways, for different reasons. But
Yeah, don't go outside after dark. There's a lot of reasons why. Even caveman, we have this natural instinct to be afraid of the dark, and they say because when we were starting out and we were prey to predators and big cats, and they say the saber-toothed cat especially hunted humans, was made to hunt humans basically with the giant teeth. But lots of stories of humans not being nice too, and maybe it's just that you can have groups of humans that become so hateful towards other groups of humans that they will commit atrocities, and maybe it's like that too, where they Sasquatches just start hating people and humans, and they choose to eat us. Well, you have good groups of them that maybe they're more respectable and don't do that. Alaska has stories of the otter man too, and it has a tail. Yes, the otter man in the waterways and stuff, of course, because there's a lot of drownings and stuff, a lot of mysterious drownings, and I doubt they eat us. The germs is high. kill us, sure. Yeah, that is true. There's disease and stuff. We can get diseases from them, I'm sure. Especially if they're close enough at humans, even if they're like apes and chimpanzees, it's close enough. I do think that they eat us because of our ancestors have told us that. Uh, Apes eat other apes. We do know that chimps eat meat. We do know that gorillas have been known to eat meat, and the billy ape, which is a little bit bigger chimpanzee, are known as lion killers, do eat meat. And that was a cryptid that has been proven scientifically as real. And they are becoming endangered, of course, and being poached ever since they became real or accepted as scientifically proven. So monkeys eat. I mean, I'm saying if it's an ape and stuff, they do eat meat. They eat deer and other things. They will probably eat other humans and apes.
No,
my opinion.
they definitely do eat deer.
Yeah, then they eat fish and they eat. They're omnivores and stuff, and they supposedly eat dead things and stuff or rotten things. Well, if you're eating dead and rotten things and stuff, and you're opportunistic, humans are on the menu. Humans are on the menu for a lot of different animals when situation arrives. Usually, old and sick animals will prey on humans.
Mm-hmm.
We're soft, easy, taste pretty good, I'm sure, compared to tough, wild animals that are, you break a tooth on. Even our bones are soft. So Northman Keep says, have you seen the Spartanburg, Pennsylvania Bigfoot video, or the Georgia Bigfoot, where the guy ran after it into the forest? By the names of them, no. If I watch them and stuff, I would recognize. Oh yeah, it's this video and stuff. I don't know. There's some videos that I've seen of people chasing them and stuff. I'll look into that, and maybe we'll do another. Definitely gonna be doing another discussion show with more clips, different clips. Have Shannon back on, and hopefully have James and other members back on. I know they're out in the field right now getting activity, and reception is not the best. So I'm sure the Ohio conference was awesome, and I'm sure they talked to Cliff and Renee and all that, and it'd be interesting to see what they said. But Billy Apes is wild, and they are real too. They're a little bit taller. They're about 5 foot tall, and they have a footprint bigger than a gorilla, and they are ground nesting like gorillas, and are very more aggressive, and are known to eat big cats and stuff. Officially, they have not been seen killing a big cat, but they have been seen eating a big cat. So the term lion killers are probably accurate. Brent from the tall ones. I thought I saw a Bigfoot and chased after it. The forest was thick and I didn't get far. Because humans are weak and fragile, and we need clothes to survive, and the little pricker bush hurts when you go through it, So what about you? What would you do? Would you go in after one? Would you chase in after it? What would you do if you seen one or heard one, or were in a situation with activity?
Personally, I wouldn't chase after it, and I'd be out of there. But I guess just to observe from afar. Try to get photos.
Yeah, it's probably smart not to go in after it.
As long as you're not being a threat, posing a threat.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. Is I try to present myself as a friendly observer that wants interaction. I don't want to show them that I'm aggressive. I don't want to let them know. Like a friendly stuff. Like sometimes if I think I'm getting activity, possibly stuff thrown or stuff, maybe I'll throw something back, not trying to hit them or anything, and I'll laugh or I'll giggle, and maybe I'll like playfully run away a little bit and stop, or I'll do something like that would let them know that I'm trying to play intelligently. I'm not a threat. And animals do
Yeah.
that. Wild animals can do that, and signaling that it's a playful action. And I think you can get more flies with honey than you can with vinegar than chasing
Yep.
after them. I've chased after them. I've went after stuff. And I've had interesting results, but I don't think chasing after them will do anything. If you can playfully do it, you can get stuff happening. But any wrong move and you don't know what's going to happen because you don't know what's crossing the line to them and
Exactly.
what action they're going to do to you. Are they going to give you a break, or are they going to let you know, or touch you and hurt you or smack, or worse, they won't let you leave. You go missing 411.
Yep. I don't think it would be smart to chase after any type of animal that is not bigger. Any type of wild animal, just in general. Just don't chase them, Lord. It's not smart.
Yeah, it's really not. I mean, you chase any wild animal, what happens? It gets cornered, turns around, and it fights. Even the smallest little squirrel will fight.
Yep.
You'd be surprised. Yeah. I find myself out there, and it's just like, it's all in their court. It's like the ball is in their court the entire time, and it's like me. It's like a high school freshman basketball starter trying to play against an NBA pro out there. Like you really have no chance, and they're just gonna play with you,
Yep.
And that's that's what we hope for, to get interaction, but like that's what it's like. They're just playing with you.
Yeah, you're in their territory. That's how I see it.
Yeah, you have to be respectful. I kind of study the Native American ways a little bit. I have a little bit of Michigan Native in me, and there's a little bit of more of a respect towards nature and a respect towards the forests. And if this is a forest garden and it's its dwellings, and I don't try to ever litter out there. I try to always be respectful of things like that, and don't destroy trees, and don't do anything stupid out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think these creatures like people acting foolish out there and destroying things. And, when they're camping, they leave a mess, and they get drunk and start shooting at random noises out in the woods because they hear stuff. I don't think they like that at all. They remember people, and they like good vibes and good people who, maybe they want to interact. They're not going to interact with some jackass, I mean,
Yeah.
that's just the plain simple of it. I see we got some more people, different people coming in here. We got Brain Bug. Bzz. How you doing, man? Nice to see you. Yeah, so we're almost at 3 hour mark. I think that might be a good time to probably shut it down. It's 1 o'clock, past 1 o'clock for us.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a good show to shut it down there. So if you guys have any last minute questions for us, please let us know, and we'll get to it and stuff. So is there anything else you want to share? Anything you want to tell us about, promote, anything you got going on? Of course, I know you got your Facebook stuff you got going on, and you kind of have a little store that you sell stuff.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to plug? You plug that in if you want.
If there's any ladies or gentlemen You like jewelry? S&S Boutique.
Get him for your girls.
Yep, there you go.
Get him for your wives. Get him for your daughters.
I ship.
Yeah. We'll put a link in the description and stuff for after, and help support Shannon and stuff, and get your wife or daughter something nice. Support American small business, right? So
That's right.
yeah. So what about field research and stuff? You're able to get out? I know winter's finally over with.
I'm gonna start to now. I've been doing, the whole,
Life.
yeah, life, chemicals. Oh yeah. No, but I think I am going to maybe do like a little seminar or something over at the library over here in Bath County.
That'd be awesome.
Do something like that here in maybe next couple weeks, maybe like middle of May. I think that would be like 15th, somewhere around there.
Well, definitely let us know and stuff. We'll, try to send people out your way, and that'd be awesome for sure. All right, I see, Robert. We got a question from you. Have you looked into any stories of the specialized military units who hunt and kill Sasquatch that have hurt or killed humans? Ooh, that's a good one. What do you think about that, Shannon?
I've heard stories of it. I haven't necessarily heard anybody. I've heard, okay, the one guy that was, it was at one of the conferences, he was talking about it. He had special military personnel or something, and they ended up having to kill a bunch of them while he was out. I think it was Vietnam. I don't remember who it was, though. It was at one of our
that would be in Vietnam, the rock apes.
Yeah.
It
was one of those. Like one of the females was killed or something like that, and then one of the males was some type of confrontation, and they shot them all. That's what I know. Anything that's military wise. And I think there was another one. They didn't kill them, but it was in one of the forest fires. They found some of the bodies.
Yeah, there's a number of stories, I guess, are floating around and stuff, and
well, that might be it. I'm not necessarily sure. I know there's quite a few different ones. I know there was, I think, some type of report. I don't know how true it was, but whenever the Smoky Mountains caught on fire, there was supposedly a couple that they found there. I don't know how true it was, though. Oh, I think we've lost them. Let's see if we can get back on. I'll figure out what's going on. Well, I think we've lost connection to Blake. Thank you. Yeah, they're cute. They're called turtle shell. I don't know. I think his phone might have died. Possibly. So, what's everybody been doing? Bigfoot? Was? Now it's just getting awkward. Welcome back.
All right. Sorry about that. My phone just died. It's plugged in. I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
okay,
I guess
figured.
it wasn't. It wasn't charging. It says it's charging. It's supposed to be charging. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. I appreciate you holding the fort down. I'm sure you did a good job. So yeah, I guess we're pretty much wrapping up and stuff. I think my phone might cut out again. Who knows? But we will have another show. We can talk about more things, unanswered things, and I appreciate you coming on, Shannon. Of course, it's a pleasure having you on, and we'll have you on again, of course, for more group discussions and hopefully get some more people on here, and hopefully James and Tyler having fun down in Ohio. Hopefully getting some good activity and staying dry. And so we'll, I'm sure, get an update next week on that. And appreciate everyone in chat who asking us questions and having fun participating. It's always good to see you guys and some familiar faces in the chat. And, you know, there's a lot of great shows out there, like great channels. We appreciate everyone. So, yeah, we'll be back next week, Friday or Saturday, 10 or 11 o'clock, you know, whatever time. So make sure to go to Facebook and check out Shannon's Facebook page at the Facebook group at Eastern Kentucky Bigfoot Research Team, where she runs that, and you guys can go there and have fun and hang out. And so thanks again, Shannon, and thanks again for everyone for tuning in and after the fact. So we appreciate that and hope you guys have a wonderful evening. So take care, everyone.
Bye.